Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble news channel. We think about this a lot when we meet to come up with ideas, but the stock market keeps moving along as if nothing is going to change. The same old thing keeps happening. The prices of these technologies are dropping so quickly that we're not sure what's going on. I think that all of these things, industrial robots, energy storage, AI, blockchain technology, and multiomic sequencing, are going to scale much more rapidly than most people think. This is because their costs are getting so low. And I think being on the right side of change will be really fun. Things will get very scary if you're not on the right side of change. And I don't think people understand how fast this is going to happen. This is where I think you're right, Peter. I recently talked to Peter H. Diamandis and Cathie Wood, founder and CEO of ARK Invest, talked about how technology will change over the next 10 years in areas like AI and cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was selling at $1.58 at the time of the conversation. It had gone up 2% in the last 24 hours, but down 6% over the last 7 days. In her talk, Cathie Wood talked about how new technologies can change things and how important it is to be on the right side of change, especially in areas like Bitcoin and artificial intelligence. She talked about how quickly these tools are changing, maybe even faster than most people think. In his talk, Wood talked about how AI and blockchain could change many businesses and open up new ways for growth and innovation. As for what it shows, the speed at which we expect these technologies to change is what it shows because the costs have dropped so much. Additionally, it shows how our company is set up. There are no sectors, industries, or sub-industries that our analysts are responsible for. This is because technology is breaking the lines between and within industries, and these technologies are coming together. For traditional experts, it will look like a world in chaos. Yes, we did have Tesla. I know we talk about him a lot, but he's the poster child for what's going to happen here. It is a robot business. It is a business that stores energy. It's an AI business. Apple has been on our radar for a while now. From an AI point of view, we think that self-driving cars are the best mobile gadgets ever. Apple should have gone for it, of course. Still, we kept having manager changes, and they're pretty much giving up on it now. That was our first sign that Apple was having trouble with AI, so yeah, it was very interesting to hear all the different opinions and talks about what this implies for Apple. Of course, it's not bad, but people in our company have two different opinions. One of them is Apple will benefit from this. They'll be able to add all of these functions and features. They know a lot about their readers already. One of my friends said, I almost felt relieved when I heard about the features they were going to roll out. I was safe. I thought that was very interesting that they were going to keep me safe in this world. So it makes sense that our Apple expert, Nick Gruce, was very happy. He thinks this is going to be great. It will do things like the restart cycle. The next one will likely be good because it has something new. That's all there is to it. Yes, over there. It is more than just a better camera. Okay, on the other side of the argument is our top futurist, Brett Winton, who is saying, wait a minute. This is where I lean a little. People trust Apple with their privacy and safety. So yes, these features will be added, even though they didn't sound very exciting at start. They will definitely release them, and it will add some new and interesting features to Apple phones. But there is a lot going on in AI. And some companies won't be limited by this focus on privacy and security. These companies will come up with some crazy new ideas that people will really like. Apple won't be able to use them the same way, though. This has set us up, and it's part of the Mag 7 or Mag 6 versus rest of disruptive innovation. Do you know if those are those companies? Do they stand to lose? In the past of innovations that change things for the worse, it is, in fact, theirs to lose. We have no idea. Who is going to make what enticing goods to get them out of there? The apps were also a bit of a risk for Apple. We might not need to use these apps after all. That tax might not have to be paid by the builders. As with ChatGPT and other apps, we can just go where we want, ask for what we want, and get it. That's too easy to understand. As for being the primary search, I think it's been proven that Google paid Apple $20 billion to be the leader. So yes, I think the old world is going to be shaken up in a way that people don't quite understand yet. Yes, I believe that 4 people at ARK work on crypto in general. One is dedicated to Bitcoin on-chain analytics, and based on those, we think we're halfway through this bull market. Halfway doesn't mean we're halfway through the price increase, though, because prices tend to go parabolic at the end of a bull market. We have no idea where that is, but we're very sure that we are halfway through the bull market just by looking at chain analytics compared to the short 10-year history 10 times longer than that. Since the ETFs came out in January, this is very interesting. A lot of people think, okay, the boom and it has been a great show, David vs. Goliath. We're still fighting and are happy with where we are. Wirehouses are big banks like Morgan Stanley, UBS, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Merrill Lynch. But there wasn't a single one. A Bitcoin ETF, not a single one has added Bitcoin to its system yet. All of them are doing what they need to do. And I think one will happen in the next few months. It might not be one of the big ones, it might be a small independent RIA like LPL. They move a little faster. The other ones will pretty much follow suit once you get one with a spot Bitcoin ETF on its website. But you can go to an online broker like Robinhood or another one. These brokers are more likely to take risks. That's 2030, so our bull case number is more than 1.5 million. Our base is around $650,000, which means that by 2030 it will have grown 10 times. There are three big pieces that make it up. One is institutional, and I would put it sounds like retail distribution, but these are people who make decisions at banks like B of A and Merrill Lynch. That's one. The second is that this is meant to replace gold, so we think it will take up half of the gold market, especially among younger people who want to try new things. Then there's the insurance plan. I just got back from El Salvador, where I met the top leaders and had the pleasure of meeting them. They are setting a new standard by making it legal tender and giving their people or showing other countries how to give their people. It is very interesting how Bitcoin got into the hands of 50 to 60 million Americans without them knowing. It has now become a problem in this election year. In fact, it's the main problem for a lot of voters. 76 Democrats signed on to FIT 21, the Financial Innovation Technology Act of the 21st century. This became a big problem for me when the Republicans made it into an election year issue by saying they would protect the right to self-custody or taking crypto as campaign donations. That's a huge deal for Bitcoin. We agree on a lot of things, even though we have an ETF that could be a control vector. We believe both to be true. Early adopters and people who learn more about the environment should be able to keep their own property. At first, the goal should just be to get people to understand what this is and how strong this movement is. That's what a spot Bitcoin ETF does, because once you have one, you want to know even more about it. Yes, we don't usually do that every year, but I think that the platforms adding the spot Bitcoin ETF will be the next big thing if we're in the middle of a boom market. Yes, I think that will happen this year. Some of our possible clients, the platforms, told us that they would need 6 to 9 months to think about it. And now we're into the 6th month. So I think that in the fall, at least one of them will add the EA spot Bitcoin ETF to their list. That I think will be the next dream. It's kind of cool. I remember it was the last half. A lot of people thought there would be a pop when we did the half, but there wasn't one. To begin with, it didn't happen because a lot of people are looking forward to it. But I've seen it, let's say, gestate, and then all of a sudden. That means they might happen at the same time in the 4th quarter of this year. It might be really cool.